Michelle Johnson. I grew up in the Midwest with no brothers or sisters in an extremely treacherous home environment. I do wish that I had been born under different circumstances in a family of good deed fanatics. However, if I had been born into a non dysfunctional family, then my accomplishments would not have been extraordinary. Between the ages of 7 and 12, my mother provided most of my food to be eaten in the bathroom. I felt the rest of the house was too unsafe. The times I ate dinner at a dining room table were when my dad was traveling for business or in a perfectly peaceful mood. My mom is Catholic and attended church once a year on Easter Sunday. Aside from that, she wasn't a practicing Catholic. She never even said the rosary. However, my mother considered changing religions a major sin. My dad, on the other hand, believed in the Creator, but didn't believe in any specific denomination of Christianity. My parents' relationship with each other was horrific. When my dad was boiling angry for no particular reason, lasting anywhere from 7 days to 3 months, my mother would be forced to sleep on the floor every night in a separate bedroom. I grew up with domestic violence, and the police were called a few times. One of these times, I called the police saying I thought my dad was killing my mother. As a result, I grew up with enormous fear and barely any time for homework. It was a wonder I learned to read and write at all. For many years, my brain was frozen with fear. That led me to depersonalization. This is a temporary disorder brought on by traumatic events such as a car accident, an earthquake, or witnessing violence. It goes away when the stress event has been worked through. This disorder causes a dreamlike dazed state. Depersonalization is closely related to post-traumatic stress disorder. By the time I turned 18, I had very low self-esteem, was inconfident, and confused. This would last for the next 20 years. While I was growing up, my extended family was rarely seen, so hardly received any good modeling social behaviors. These experiences could have led me to become a drug addict, a gang member, an alcoholic, a criminal, or any number of unsavory people. However, I turned to exploring religion and trying to find somewhere to belong. I read about the different religions and attended an Introduction to Islam and Introduction to Buddhist class. Around the same time, I was introduced to a Native American tribe. I joined a tribe and participated in ceremonies for the next 10 years until eventually I got involved with a tribe that threatened to beat me and kill me because I had run out of money. I was able to survive because I falsely promised to co-sign a loan. I had enough. Once again, I found myself searching for religion. I decided to explore Judaism. I had not explored Judaism earlier because both of my parents were anti-Semitic. My parents didn't participate in any form of violence against the Jews outside the home. By the time I had decided to learn about Judaism, my dad had passed away and my mom was in a nursing home with dementia. I would have been too scared of the reaction of exploring religion if they were still both healthy. I chose to convert to being Jewish, and I'm extremely proud of my decision. Some of the reasons Judaism appealed to me are as follows: the kosher dietary laws, and in hunting for sport is prohibited. I love the belief that if you save one life, you have saved the world. I also admire the notion emphasized of working hard to leave this world a better place for everyone. The high value Jews place on education and their practice of learning through debating the context of their holy books is also appealing. And finally, Jews don't believe in proselytizing because of the Noahide laws. Without going into the specific laws, as long as you're basically moral, you have a place in the world to come, including atheists. My intention is not to proselytize, but to encourage young people to make a spiritual quest if their birth religion is unfulfilling, or to find out more about their birth religion and get involved. As long as a new religion or the existing religion doesn't hurt yourself or anyone else, and please let me repeat myself, as long as your new religion or your existing religion does not hurt yourself or anyone else's lives. I feel that my spiritual journey is so unique that I have written a movie script based on my experiences that led me to Judaism. My movie script, Religion's Exploration, is about a woman who grew up in an anti-Semitic household plagued with domestic violence, searches for religion, and ironically converts to Judaism. Religious Exploration would be a low-budget film, but the messages are priceless. Don't strive for parental approval. Instead, seek for spiritual meaning. The movie is low budget because it requires limited special effects and limited locations, 10 in total. The most heavily populated area will be the dinner theater scene, but with creative camera angles, we can reduce the number of extras. Bree Wilkins, who looks like a traditional runway model in jeans, lives in South Florida and is trying to come to terms with the adventurous successes and failures in finding somewhere to belong her entire life. Bree recants the years of witnessing domestic violence and her adult years of religious exploration to her parents. Bree's dad, James, who looks like a pro basketball player, comments to Bree, quote, "You have been exploring religions? You should have been exploring ways to make money," unquote. Bree tells her parents about exploring Muslim, Hindu, and Buddhist religion, but spending the majority of time in Native American spirituality. However, her disappointment with Native American spirituality leads her into exploring Judaism and eventually converting. Her Catholic anti-Semitic parents are both perplexed and furious, leading Bree to lose hope in this hopeless relationship. Bree's parents are desperate for a solution, therefore they ask her about her high school sweetheart, Christian Weber, who looks like a handsome guy from 1950s, who could potentially convert Bree back to being Catholic. Bree confirms that she ran into Christian, and while Bree has changed drastically, Christian remains the same. Christian is shocked to learn Bree converted to Judaism, but still wants a relationship with her as long as she converts back to Catholicism. Bree is adamant that her Jewish religion is her home. Having exhausted her attempt to be accepted by her parents, as well as her high school sweetheart, she is now completely confident. Bree realizes she has accomplished becoming her own person without the continued hope of approval, and she found peace and spirituality within herself. This movie has a twist that will leave you stunned. I'm currently working on my next movie script about the life and times of a famous Jewish woman. If you're interested in reading the complete movie script, Religious Exploration, please email me at 2016movie@gmail.com.